Hi everybody, I'm installing an intake spacer on a 97 Chevy 5.7 Vortec. It's made by Taylor Cable. It's called the Vmax, and we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to do a step-by-step installation on this because I've never seen any other people post this on YouTube, so we'll see how it goes. So here's a Taylor Cable Vmax intake spacer for the 5.7 Vortec. I already pre-put in a gasket. I was bored last night waiting to do this. And then right here's the water filler neck spacer, so we got to put that on there. And then here's the spider wire spacer for it. There's a bunch of little things you got to add to this thing. And here's the motor it's going on. I've already done a few goodies on it, like the shorty headers by Vortec. I did notice power change. You know, yeah, the internet says a lot of things about them, but shit, as long as the motor runs better with what you add onto it, that's all that counts. And this looks like it's be a pretty straightforward, simple installation, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so part of the instruction says to pull this fuel pump relay off, start the truck up to relieve the fuel pressure for you and hook the fuel lines when you put the intake spacer on. So I've done that, so now I just got to start the truck up and let it run itself out of fuel to relieve the pressure, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, it wasn't automatic, but I converted it to a manual transmission. I will do a video of that another time on the work I did to it. Well, I don't know if that's really relieved the pressure, but we'll see when I take the fuel lines off the top of the intake, so that's what it's done so far. Okay, I've gotten this far on the intake spacer on here. Took longer than I thought it did. It's been on it for a couple hours now. Had to take a couple things to get it going, but here's what I've got so far on it. Had to take off all the bolts off the intake. So as you can see, I got to clean up the intake spacer, you know, where the spacer sits. It's got to get cleaned up there a little bit. And I'll show you the after effect when I get done with that. I ain't going to bore you guys with the step-by-step stuff. Alright, so I got the intake runner intake runner space cleaned off right there for the spacer. Sorry for the background noise. We got other people doing mechanic work here at the house for the weekend. That's what we do here. But looks like I should have replaced the spider wire setup, but it's still in good shape, so I'm not too worried about that part. I'm doing this on a budget, so bear with me, people. Okay, I got the spider wire stuff all hooked in, wired up. I should have went ahead and upgraded with instead of getting rid of all this old poppet style, but I said I'm doing this on a budget, but got it all cleaned up and ready to hook up. Next video I do, I'll have the intake in, hopefully I have it running. But it's pretty straightforward, simple kit. I just need to do a few more things and put the intake on and we're good to go. Okay, quick update. I got my intake spacer put on, and I had a couple little mishaps, but there's some things that the instructions weren't quite clear with that won't work with how it is, like the fuel pressure lines. They won't work with the distributor, so I got to come up with a way to rebend it, but I got it running last night, and here later today I'll take it for a drive. I'll start up for you guys here in a bit, but I'll show you basically what I went through on this. Alright, here's a boo-boo I had last night. Went to tighten the spacer on where the water neck goes, and I broke it. Well, probably, you know, 30-year-old part right there, so no surprise there. And I had to go to O'Reilly's, and I got this water neck right now, and that fit in there pretty good to clear the intake with the 1-inch raise. I don't know if you guys can see the spacer on it. Well, kind of a little bit there. And I had to reroute my radiator hose up like this for now, which is kind of temporary. I don't like it, but you know, got to do what I got to do. At least it clears where the AC pump is, so I don't have to worry about that rubbing. And a couple of things I didn't have to do is raise the coil bracket, because the spacer fit right alongside of it. So there's the coil bracket. I got an aftermarket coil from Summit. That seemed to kind of help with power a little bit. But here's the fuel line issue I was talking about. See if I get a good angle on it. See right there, even with the spacer on it, it still kind of hits the top #1 coil. But I need to head home today, so I gotta go with what I got. And later on, I got time. I'll fix the fuel line so it won't rub against the spark plug wire like it is. And I'll do an update video on that later. But that's pretty much the installation of a Taylor cable Vmax intake spacer for a 5.7 Chevy Vortec, and we'll take it for a drive here in a bit to see how it runs. But yeah, I did start it up and run it for a bit there, and it kind of ran rough at first, but just figured the computer had to relearn itself, plus all the fucking crap on it. I mean, the intakes are pretty filthy with those EGR valves and the fuel line pump that goes right in there, but as you can see, I deleted that and put that right there, so put the oil pump right there, but I still got the old what the hell is it? I forgot, but oh well, I'm just can't think straight sometimes. And as you can see, I did a bit of work to this truck from years ago. I just did this stuff kind of help out the airflow. These are great motors, but there's really not a whole lot of options you can do for these, you know, to make more power on them. And with the money I got to spend to make the power I want, well, I'm just better off putting a Chevy 5.3 or a 6.0 in it. You know, they're a little cheaper to build and stuff, but I kind of like this motor, so I want to keep it. So I think I pretty much did the max I could on, you know, getting it built, besides putting a cam in it. But according to what I read on the internet, I have to do a computer retune with this new spacer on it, because I won't get to enjoy the full benefits of it until I do that. And then I also got to do it because I did an EGR delete on it, but I never had the computer flash to get rid of the EGR, so that was all because of a bad EGR valve, and this was cheaper just to do it this way, and I thought it'd be cooler anyways because I don't got all that crap flowing back inside the intake there, so gotta keep it clean and stuff, you know, more fresh air, more power. That's kind of how I feel. Well, that's all you got, so that's how you basically install one of these things. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start it up for you guys, show you how it runs and stuff. You know, I didn't change anything really. But as you can see, here's the truck I installed it on. You know, I've been putting a lot of work in this last 6-7 months here. Pretty much all I got left now is some lower gears and a new paint job, and I'll be pretty much happy with this truck. It's got a few dings and dents on it, but it's my truck. So here we go with the starting it. Okay, transmission's in neutral. I had to bypass the safety neutral switch. I did the manual transmission conversion. I'll do another video of that later. But typical roller lifter noise. I put a 130 amp alternator, come off a 2004 Chevy. Directly bolts on just like the standard 96 to 98 Vortec, so I got more juice flowing into the motor, and my stereo system I got in my truck, so that's what we got. So here, I'll kind of give her a little rev for you. Yeah, so we'll take a drive here in a bit, like I said, so here you go.